Hello, great people. The best way to describe Naija political space at the moment now boxing ring. Naija political space don't turn to boxing ring where politicians just dey exchange blow among themselves. And who they fight for that boxing ring? Now, Nyesom Wike, Minister of FCT and popular activist Omoyele Sowore. But the score line now, the updates now, we say Omoyele Sowore don't give Nyesom Wike knockout by releasing a statement that, oh, Nyesom Wike allegedly embezzled $300 million $300 million that was meant for the environmental remediation of Ogoni line. Now, Sowore bring out talk say, oh, Nyesom Wike, he don't chop the money. What he say Nyesom Wike use and do? He say he use and build supermarket. You will recall that Ogoni land has been in crisis as regards oil pollution, and there was a UNEP report, and the Ogoni land needs to be remediated. So Sowore is now bringing evidence that Nyesom Wike, he don't chop the money. Abeg, help me with your calculator there. Help me press on 300 million times 1,500. Help me put the amount in naira for the comment section. But you know, say if you dey boxing ring, before they give you that knockout, you self will be boxer, politician to politician, Wike and Sowore. You know, say before they give you knockout, you two you go don't throw punches. It takes time for Nyesom Wike to throw in punch, but Nyesom Wike too, he don't finally throw punch at Omoyele Sowore. Waiting Nyesom Wike talk through his aide Larry Olayinka. Nyesom Wike yarn say, well, where you they do like say, sure you no get house for US, you they leave house for US where worth $500,000. Your child they go better school. On this episode of Politics with Joshua Plug, I will be bringing to you what has been transpiring between Omoyele Sowore and Nyesom Wike, the latest exposés. Then we'll be dissecting the associated issues. We'll be dissecting a lot on this episode because Omoyele Sowore is not backing down. Nyesom Wike himself is not backing down. So let us start with the expose of Larry Olayinka, the media aide to Nyesom Wike. Don't forget that I will be coming back to that of 300 million. But you see, the things that were released against Omoyele Sowore is so much. Let me start with that one. Then I will come back to that of the $300 million. And when they look around, say, okay, what if we use fight back? You know, say if they fight somebody, they must find something to fight you back. They now said that, according to Larry Olayinka on his Facebook, he said, Omoyele Sowore's crime in the US. What be that crime? No be say he kill, no be say he steal, no be say he destroy. Make I tell you, may you hear that yourself. It says on May 2, 2009, Sowore committed traffic crime. You say, okay, now so myself do when I say traffic crime, we dey talk of monumental corruption, we dey talk of killing where the Minister of FCT allegedly threatened to kill INEC official, we dey talk of monumental looting. You want to tackle the person back and you are talking about traffic crime. Let me read it for you. It said his offense was disregard to traffic control device. That is according to Larry Olayinka. Larry Olayinka continued. He said Sowore was charged to Allegheny County Court on May 6, 2009 with case number MJ05202 3R00013492009. On May 7, 2009, he was found guilty and was fined accordingly. If this had happened in Nigeria, lawless Sowore would have harassed security agents and claimed that he was being persecuted for his activism. That is the new parlance derived from the word activism. Activism is when you are fighting for a just cause. Activism is when you are fighting a cause just for what you can benefit from it. So that's the meaning of activism or activist. Apologies. I continue the reading. But in USA, Sowore quickly pleaded guilty and accepted the court sanctions. In the US, criminal traffic offenses may result in jail time, which varies greatly depending on the state and the severity of the offense. That is according to Larry Olayinka. So for wetin Sowore talk, wetin dem fit use tackle Omoyele Sowore is, you don't beat traffic, you don't commit traffic crime in the US before. Share this argument, it makes sense for your ear. Abeg tell me in the comment section wetin you think about Larry Olayinka's argument. Then he came up with another post. It means say they don't the reason Omoyele Sowore. He said that Sowore's $552,000 mansion in United States That is, according to Larry Olayinka, it says, in a build-up to the 2023 general election, Daily Trust reported Sowore's asset declaration to INEC, in which he stated ownership of a single property valued at 5 million naira and a 2008 Toyota Camry. But as at that time, Sowore owned a property in the US which he bought for 552,000 US dollars, about 850 million naira now. He did not declare this property, thereby lying on oath in his code of conduct asset declaration, and this is a criminal offense. Violation to the Code of Conduct Bureau and Tribunal attracts severe penalties such as asset forfeiture and a 10-year ban from public office. Now, the big question is that let's assume that Sowore is owning that property truly, assuming but not conceding. Are you sure that this code of conduct that you are quoting, Nyesom Wike, will not be found guilty of the same offense? Because it's easy to quote the code of conduct against Omoyele Sowore. Did Nyesom Wike declare the Hyper City supermarket that he allegedly used the 300 million US dollars belonging to Ogoni to establish those supermarkets? Did Nyesom Wike, did he declare those assets in the Code of Conduct Bureau? To the Code of Conduct Bureau? His wife, did she declare the house in the United States? Did she declare it to the Code of Conduct Bureau? So if you want to throw stone, be very careful, because you may just be throwing stone into your own glass house as well. Because this thing that later Olayinka is saying, he may also be using it to indict his boss. And another thing is that Sowore has never been a public official. He has never held any public office in his life. So if he didn't declare the property, that may be wrong. But at the same time, I'm not concerned with whatever Sowore owns, because he's a private citizen. What I'm concerned about is that you have managed public resources and you don't have this thing before you got into that office. How you did manage our money? How you did spend our money? When we say you don't get before, but now you dey swim inside money. In fact, to use the street balance, to you now, money na water. How you take be, and what business did you do? And you know that if you're a public official, you can't engage in business. How are you able to afford luxury homes, luxury cars, luxury houses in US and other parts of the world? Now, another thing that they accuse Omoyele Sowore of is that Sowore's son is attending a school in New Jersey, United States, where he pays $54,605 per term, which equates to about 85 million naira. So he's also accusing Sowore of that. And I find it a bit absurd why you will bring Sowore's child up to the extent that you are mentioning the school that child is attending. As a father, I think that Lady Olayinka should have been cautious of the security implication of that. Now, they have tackled Omoyele Sowore. Let me speak on it before I go to that of the 300 million naira. You see, I think that Lady Olayinka is a terrible aide. If I am to be a brother to Nyesom Wike, I would advise him to sack Lady Olayinka, because his comparison holds no water. In the sense that you are comparing Omoyele Sowore, his asset as a private citizen, you are comparing it to that of a public official, Nyesom Wike. You are supposed to tell us, does Wike own the property in Florida or not? What business has your oga done to be able to afford that kind of property? So that is what you should be telling us. Not be say you go call the yarn and say, oh, you say my oga get property for Florida, should be you too, you get house for America. No, that is nonsense. You are only a terrible aide if you behave like that. Tell us the source of your oga's wealth. So I find Lady Olayinka, with profound respect to him, to be a terrible aide, because in this instance, Sowore is not a public official, and the house that they are saying is on mortgage. I'm not in support of him not declaring it in the code to the Code of Conduct Bureau, but when I went through the document as published, the house itself is on mortgage. If you understand what mortgage means, it means that you collect the house from the government or any real estate firm over there, then you'll be paying for the amount of the house. You'll be paying it bit by bit. And so mortgage, you can pay as far back as maybe 10, 15, 20 years or even more than. So if somebody is living in such a house and it's on mortgage, can we say that kind of person has money? So that comparison, doesn't fit into the accusation against the minister. Now, let us go to the page of Omoyele Sowore. What does Omoyele Sowore have to say? Let me read it out to you. I'm trying to bring it out to you because Sowore now is said a lot of things as regards 300 million naira. And let me read it out to you as seen on Sowore's page. He said the revelation The revelation is that Tiffin Nyesom Wike CONGSSRS diverted $300 million earmarked for Ogoni remediation and development. Reports indicate that Wike funneled the funds into constructing a chain of supermarkets in Port Harcourt known as Hypercity Supermarket. This revelation, which is being urged, had an honorable mention in a document presented by an Ogoni delegation to Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu at the Aso Rock Villa the day before yesterday. So that is the revelation that Sowore is bringing out. And in another post, he said, $300 million Ogoni fund missing. Who stole it? So that is the new revelation, and that has been generating a lot of reaction among Nigerians. So the big question is that, Mr. Wike, did you really steal $300 million US? If so, go and return the money, because Ogoni people are dying, Ogoni people are suffering. The environment means a lot to them because they are farmers and fishermen. I've been in Ogoni land, I've been to Ogoni land before. I've conducted a scientific research in the community, and I know the plight of the community. But what I can say is that, could Wike have diverted the fund under the Buhari regime is not a friend with? Let us be real. You know, I usually say that I don't like anybody, I don't hate anybody, but let us look at it from a logical perspective. $300 million is a lot of money. I know that people have been saying Nyesom Wike is corrupt or allegedly corrupt, but looking at it, that $300 million was during the tenure of Muhammadu Buhari. Nyesom Wike is not a big fan of Muhammadu Buhari. They are at loggerheads. In fact, Nyesom Wike refused to attend Federal Executive Council meeting when Buhari was president, just so that they would not see eyeball to eyeball. Now, coming from that angle, how easy it is for Nyesom Wike to pocket $300 million under a Buhari government that he is not a friend with. So that is why I need the Nigerian government to conduct thorough investigation, if they will, to unravel the truth regarding it. But I don't think that it will be very easy like that for Wike to pocket $300 million US under a Buhari government. As regards the remediation of Ogoni land, because that project was handled by the Ministry of Environment, and I think it was even specifically placed under the monitoring of the president or the vice president at that point in time. But what I can say is that if Wike truly stole this much, Nigeria cannot develop. If Wike truly stole this much, that he truly owns the house in Florida, $300 million, Rolls Royce and all that, Nigeria cannot develop, because the culture of stealing will grow from one generation to another. So if you think Nyesom Wike is a thief, wait for the upcoming politicians. They will do worse than the Nyesom Wike. And that is why we need to make sure that in our polity, in our society, we curb corruption accordingly. It's been an interesting time with you. Subscribe, turn on your notification button, catch up with my past videos. See you in my next video. I love you all sincerely.